France is in what can only be described as a political crisis. Bayrou tried to push forward a new budget to try and fix France's staggering debt of over 3 trillion euros. His solution? Austerity, cutting government funding to public services. In total, he proposed 44 billion euros of spending cuts. But while France's debt may be massive, for many people living in France, the cost of living is already too high. For people who are struggling, abstract figures like debt are nothing important. What's more important is bills and putting food on the table. And austerity measures will have a genuine negative impact on people's lives. Meanwhile, in recent years, taxes have been lowered for the wealthy, and the retirement age has been increased from 62 to 64, which I wish we had. Bayrou wanted to make changes that would hit the poorest the hardest. A lot of French people are asking why they should be punished for a problem that they didn't cause. Here in Montpellier, there's a large population of homeless people, and for many people, the thought of government taking even more money away from them was too hard to bear. It's also a question of optics. Bayrou is a career politician who's been in politics for centuries at this point. He's a rich member of the political establishment telling the poor people of France that they should tighten their belts. He'll be fine if government spending is cut. It won't affect him at all. It's giving let them eat cake, it's giving cake. And somehow that's not all. Most horrifyingly of all, Bayrou wanted to cancel 2 public holidays. Seriously, who thought this was going to work? Il a dit que les gens doivent travailler 2 jours plus. Et maintenant, personne ne va travailler pour 2 jours. C'est poétique, n'est-ce pas? And Bayrou was already not popular. A few months ago, France was hit by the biggest school child abuse scandal in its history. Bayrou was education minister in the 90s, and parliamentary inquiries have found that the French state failed to protect children in schools. And Bayrou's own children went to one of the schools at the center of this scandal. His response, to paraphrase, was, well, I didn't know anything about it. He also said that a lot of the scandal was artificial controversy designed to damage his personal career. Bro really said, how can I take a child abuse scandal and make it about me? He also had nowhere near the amount of political power that he needed to try and push this budget through. He came out swinging with this budget while his party doesn't even have a majority in the National Assembly. So all in all, it's no surprise that he was voted out with no confidence. But these manifestations were made so that Bayrou would resign, and he's already done that. So why are they still happening? And why are they so, French? Worker strikes in France are famous for their size and noise. Les manifestations en France et faire la grève, c'est une tradition qui remonte à la prise de la Bastille en 1789. French numbers make no sense. Protesting in the street has actually given the French most of the rights that they enjoy today. For example, nationwide protest in 1936 gave the French the right to unionize, paid vacations, and the 40-hour work week. And the French have an established history of protesting against austerity. Oh, yep, they're spraying. They're spraying. After Bayrou resigned on Monday, over 11,000 people. Oh, wow. Oh, shit. That's definitely tear gas. That is nasty. My nose is like spicy, and my eyes are like running like crazy. Okay, where was I? After Bayrou resigned on Monday, about 11,000 protesters gathered in front of town halls across France for Le Port au Départ. If I pronounced that right. Le Port du Départ, or leaving drinks for Bayrou. But that was just the warm-up gig. Bloquons Tout, or block everything. It means exactly that. Everything is blocked. Roads, tram lines, access to anywhere in town, teaching and shopping. My eyes are running. Yeah. Bloquons Tout is a general movement that has no central leadership, so its aims are a little more vague. There seems to be a combination of several different political movements. I'm seeing signs for liberation of Palestine, LGBTQ rights, but one aim is clear: to denounce austerity in the strongest possible terms. And a general sense of freedom from tyranny. And while Bayrou has resigned, the budget is still on the table. The French are making themselves very clear. The current state of the French parliament is a mess. France has been stuck with no clear majority ever since Macron called a shock snap election last year, dividing France into 3 different political regions: the left, the centrists, and the far right. None of those have clearly won out over the other. Macron is head of state, so he directly appoints someone to run domestic affairs. Right now, no leader that Macron could have appointed would have the mandate of a majority in parliament, which means that France is in political deadlock. Any prime minister could be ousted at any time. There's much less safety, there's much less security. And that's exactly what's happened. Over the last year, there have been 3 prime ministers. Macron, who's a centrist, has said he's reluctant to call another election, and it's clear to see why. It could be that another election could just result in another hung parliament. Or, something even worse for Macron, the party currently leading the polls is the far right, so he could risk cementing far-right power in parliament. Macron had a choice: either appoint the 3rd prime minister in a year, or call another election and risk cementing far-right power in the government. Yesterday, he chose to appoint Sébastien Lecornu, a centrist from his party thought to be fiercely loyal to him. So his task now is to somehow unite three political parties with vastly different political views to pass a budget when the last two people who tried to attempt it were ousted politically. So no pressure then. As of now, it's unclear how big the effect of the manifestation will be, but it's obvious that there's strong sentiment behind it. The future for France is looking pretty uncertain as there's no clear solution to the problems that it's facing. France now has its third prime minister in a year and its fifth since 2022. No clear majority party in the polls, a looming far-right surge, and it's no closer to success on its budget. With no clear light at the end of the tunnel for its massive debt problem, rising wealth inequality, and an increasing sentiment in France of anger against a government that they feel has failed them. I would not want to be Macron or Lecornu right now.
Bro, I was just having a banh mi.